I'm sitting out in the garage here, and we're going to do a little, if I can get my carving position right. We're going to do a little pig today. See this little pig? Cute little thing. And I still got the tag from the wood left on it. I'll get it off, it's no big deal. Now, I do pigs a little bit different. I try to give them a little bit more life as we go by, but here's just a little pattern for a pig, and I thought it'd be a fun project to do today. I know it's been a while since I've been doing some projects, but I've been doing a lot of things. I went out with a fellow yesterday, and we went to the range and shot. I was trying out some shotguns I had that having a little trouble with one of them, particularly it was a pump shotgun, not injecting just right and stuff. So we had a good time enjoying that. But you know I'm a gun advocate. I mean, if you hold that against me, well, you're just gonna have to, because I love guns. I've loved them since I was young, and I'm a shotgun man. I was a hunter. I was a duck hunter, and I love shotguns. I do, and I love doing them. So anyway, I'm just kind of go the ears here, but it's going to be a little bit different scenario. Now, when you cut out a pattern like this, you want to cut it out with the grain going straight up and down. You don't want the grain to come this way. You don't want that. You want the grain up and down just like this. It's a kid yelling across the street. You know how kids are. They're going to be loud and everything like that. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I cut him out, and I'm going to start just removing some wood, especially around the legs down here. And you see how I just do the basic cuts, just like this, in other words. And just down like this, in other words. And it's just a matter, for me, it's a matter of cuts. And you're going to have a lot of cuts in this. You know, it's not going to be the pig that is rounded off and all that other stuff. It's going to be a matter of cuts with me. That's the way that I do things. Just a matter of cuts like that. Okay? But just sort of working out this. By the way, this is 1.5 inches. This is 1.5 inches thick by about, this is about 3 inches long here. And how high is this thing? Let me see. I'm not sure. It's probably 2 inches high. Most likely, if I can get my stupid. Okay, let's see how high it basically is. Probably around 2 inches. Yeah, we're looking at about 2 inches high by about 3 inches long. So it's a small pig. It's a little pig. I did one of these for a young lady that wanted a pig, and so I did it for her. And it's a lot of fun. I don't do a lot of animals. And when you come back here to the tail, of course, you're gonna come on both sides of that tail, and you're just gonna run across there. And you're going to cut, you're gonna come in like this, and you're gonna remove the tail like this. In other words, you remove the tail back is what you do. And oops, I dropped it a little bit. You just kind of do this, and cut. You want to be careful. Dadgummit, gee. Well, I'll be darned. See, moving the knife across there, I nicked myself right there. Ain't that something? I tell you what. Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, I don't get blood everywhere because this is going to bleed just a little bit and very little. But even if see, just nicked myself right there. Just hold on for 1 second. No, I don't have to do that. What am I doing? Hold on for 1 second. I've got my box right here. I keep my box, and I always keep a Band-Aid in there. And otherwise, I wouldn't put a Band-Aid on it, but I'm gonna do it right now because, well, shoot, where's my Band-Aids at? There should be some at the bottom here. I'm sorry. There's one. There's one at the bottom there. I tell you, that goofy me. Well, I'll be darned. Look at how hard it is to. The reason I'm doing this, I don't really have to do it because it's not going to bleed much, but I do want to keep it from getting blood all over my carving. And you see, I wasn't even cutting at that time. The blade just slipped for a minute, came across my hand, my finger, and caught my thumb. So there we go. All right, now I won't get it all over my piece that I have here. Holy cow, I tell you, I don't usually do that, but I'm not going to say I don't. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. For goodness sakes, I hate all these interruptions and stuff like that. And I was just coming across there, and there I go. I nicked myself, as I did, which you say, why would you show such a thing? I show it because it happens to us, okay? You can nick yourself, as you see, and you want to get, you don't want blood all over your, I mean, it's not going to hurt it, but you just don't want it all over, especially if I'm doing a video, in other words. But you need to see that it happens to all of us. Even someone who's been carving a long period of time, you can nick yourself. I've never cut myself bad. Never had to go to the hospital, never had to do anything like that. Now, have I nicked myself? I've reached in my box to get a knife and accidentally nicked myself. That's pretty common, in other words. It's a common thing. As long as you don't cut yourself to the point where, and listen, I know you get mad at me, you're not wearing a glove. Well, I don't wear a glove because I can't handle, I never have worked well with gloves, and I can't handle the piece. I just can't. So what I'll do, which I could have done, is I put Band-Aids on my thumb where I won't accidentally cut. Look at that. There you go. You've got your... Now, I'm going to come on this side and do the same thing. Now, watch the scooping action that I use when I start working with the body of this pig. See that? I use a scooping action. See, most people want to get it round. They want to get the piece round. They want to get it just... that's not me. As you can see, a series of different just straight cuts. And I'm going to accomplish... Now, this isn't a straight cut, but it's kind of a scooping cut, as we might say, that I use to give the pig just a little bit of a different type or style of whittling or carving on it, in other words. And I enjoy doing that to sort of give the pig a little bit different style as we go along. Okay? And just like in here, I come in here and I just sort of give it that scooping action right in there. Now you got to be careful because the grain does change in here, and you want to be careful not to let that get you down, or whatever it is, in other words, okay? So as you can see there, we've got that. Now, we want to go up here, and we want to, this is where the head is going to be, just kind of right in here. So we want to bring that in just a little bit. And we'll come from here and just do some cuts just right in there. We want to come down here, and we want to sort of on both sides bring this at sort of an angle as we work with this, okay? And from all sides like that, we're doing these cuts down just like this. Just like that. And down here we do the same thing. Just like that, see? And then we're going to kind of just bring it up like that. And do it like this, in other words. We're going to bring that forward. See? It kind of gives the impression like you see, just like that. All right? Okay, we're going to continue to do that. We're just going to continue. I hope everybody is having a good day today. This weather has been crazy for us. It's real cold in the morning, and then it's kind of hot in the afternoon. So everybody around here's got these we've had a flu epidemic down here, and there's been a lot of people that have had the flu, that have gotten the flu, and I have not. I haven't had the flu. Oh gosh, in probably 10 years. I just don't get it. I'm not susceptible to the flu all that much. Okay. All right. Now, on the ear here, we're just going to draw a little line and cut that. Draw a little line and cut that. Now, the ears, we're going to go down the middle of it right in here. And we're just going to go ahead and start. Now this is going to be a little hard in here. You're going to have to be careful. You have to just take this, because in this area especially, even with a sharp knife, you have kind of a way of cutting, as we can't say, of what goes on. Now I'm going to just draw this right here, which is going to be our nose of our pig. And I'm just going to make a cut right there. And I'm going to make a cut right there. Okay, and that's going to be the nose of our pig. Okay. Now these are fun to do. They're a lot of fun. There are a lot of unique. I'm sorry. I've got to get up for a minute. Grabbing something right here that I was trying to a wording. I apologize. And I told you this is live. I don't do anything that I don't want to do. So sometimes I have to position my. Now, always remember on my videos, it may seem like I'm a little ways from you, but go down to the right side and enlarge the video, and you will see right there in front, you will see me up close, in other words. And that's the way you do it, in other words. That's the way when you watch these videos, you do it like that. Okay? Okay, now, you just sort of go around, for instance, these legs we're going to have down here. We're going to separate these legs a little bit. Now, in that part where you separate the legs and stuff, the wood is pretty hard in there, so you want to be careful because it just be very slow with it, because in those areas it becomes somewhat, just go halfway down, you make that now. So you want to be just careful as you do this, that you want to remove the wood. And I simply make a series of V-cuts whenever I'm dealing with that. And a pig doesn't have, he doesn't have long legs, so you're not going to have a lot of problems there. In other words, you're not going to have a tremendous amount of problems with these long legs or anything like a horse or anything like that. A pig has a very, very short legs, short body, all those things. But as you do these straight cuts, as I have, and then I just sort of, now a lot of pigs' tails, when they do them, they coil them up. I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm just going to let him have his, kind of make him, I could do the coil thing, but I'm not going to do it on this one. In other words, where it looks like it's coiled up, you just take your, you come from here and you just sort of round it around and all that other stuff, in other words. But I'm not going to do that on this one. I want it to look more of a flat plane type scenario, as we might say. So we just sort of get this as we go, making a series of cuts, and then bringing this down. And see the scooping action that I do to give the legs, to give all that sort of a different scenario. Just take that knife and scoop it just like that. And it gives those the legs of the pig a different look to them, as we might say. Yeah, I just I have like I said, I went shooting yesterday a little bit, and we had a good time. I have a friend across the street that he loves to shoot, and I do too. And we went and tried out some guns, just some shotguns I had, because I hadn't shot them in a long time. And there was an automatic shotgun I was having trouble with, and there was two shotguns. There was the automatic and there was a pump. They were both 12 gauges. And my automatic, I was having some problems with it, and so I had to take it apart. And it wasn't what it was. It wasn't ejecting the shell correctly, just like the pump. Believe it or not, they're both Remington. One's the 1100 Remington, and the other was the 870 pump. Both excellent shotguns. They were old type shotguns. And then I have my double barrel shotguns that I do. I took my little double barrel 410 out there. Oh, it's a sweet thing. Shooting that gun was such a joy. I had a good time. It's been a long time since I shot it. Can't remember how much fun I had shooting the stupid thing. But so I shot it, and then I had a bolt action 410, and it was fun to shoot. It was a little Mossberg, and I shot it, and I was trying to check to see how it would eject the shells, because it's a little bit different of a bolt action shotgun, and it had a little issue with ejecting the shells also. So what happened is, those shotguns went through Hurricane Harvey. They were in, I had a shotgun case. I had a shotgun cabinet, and when Harvey came in, it got into the shotguns, and the water did, and I had to do a lot of cleaning afterward. Well, I hadn't shot a whole lot of them since then, so I took them out and was checking. I want to make sure, because water can do some pretty bad damage to a lot of things. And so we spent the day kind of getting a idea of stuff.